Hi guys, welcome back to Baking Fiat. Today we're making cannolis with a chocolate chip ricotta filling. So let's get started. Okay, so I got these cannoli forms for Christmas. They were $5.50 for 4, which, I don't know. Amazon, it's like $12 for 12 or something, whatever. Doesn't matter, I got them at Nella for Christmas. So we have these. We need a strainer to pull them. You want a thermometer. So you want to sift in 250 grams of all-purpose flour. You want to sift it because you don't want to find random paper or anything like that in your product because it's really icky. I mean, do you want to eat paper? I don't want to eat paper. I'm not like a chipmunk. So next we're going to sift in 5 grams of cocoa powder. It's going to give us color. It also, I think it helps with the flavor. So in the end product, it might look burnt. Like if you don't, like your friends might be like, oh, it's pretty dark. It's not burnt. It's because of the cocoa powder. Okay, so now we're going to sift in 5 grams of salt. And we're doing 20 grams of lard. You can also use shortening, but lard's ideal because of the crystalline structure and it also helps with taste. Technically, it has lower cholesterol than butter. I'm adding in 1 whole egg. So we're mixing that into our bowl. We're using a dough hook until it's combined. If you want to do this by hand, go ahead. You can do it like make a well for a liquid after you're done. So now we're going to be adding 100 milliliters of wine. Most recipes will call for marsala. I don't have marsala on me. I only have sparkling wine, so I'm using this Bodega Gold or something. It's not the nicest wine, but it's gonna help with flavor. If you are a dry household, go ahead and use water. Maybe you just don't have wine on you at all right now. Totally fine, just use water. It's like the wine is for taste. So we're like start with 80 milliliters. You want to get like a good consistency. It's going to be stiff like pasta dough, okay? I don't know if you've ever made pasta. So now the consistency is getting better. I'm using my hands to try and feel around. And now it's going to be too hard to mix in the mixer. So let's just finish it off by hand. We can throw down some flour. Here's the good baker's technique. You just kind of let it rip, you know, like Beyblade or, you know, I choose you, Pokemon, woo! You know, cool. So I took a bowl scrape to grab the rest of the dough. And we're gonna knead this by hand for 5 minutes, okay? Watch this, this is how I knead. You need to knead, ha! Okay. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. Let's cover it. I'm just throwing a towel on and we're gonna rest it for an hour. Okay, so cannoli filling. You can use mascarpone or ricotta, or if you want to do a mixture of both, go ahead. I like doing a ricotta filling. So I'm using 250 grams of ricotta. I'm doing 50 grams of white sugar. So let's just cream it together. If you don't like cinnamon, don't put it. If you want to use an alternative like dried cherries, you know, chop them up. Don't stick an entire glob of cherry. It's not going to pipe through. So chop it up nice and small and stuff. And you're going to fold in our chocolate chips and stuff. If you need to, you can add a little bit of cream, heavy cream. I'm doing 2 to 3 grams of cinnamon, and I'm doing 30 grams of salted caramel chips, yummy, and 20 grams of semi-sweet dark chocolate chips. Together, they are like the perfect ricotta filling. Oh, it's so yummy. So I accidentally forgot to film while I made a batch first, so we're just adding it in and we're whipping it together. So an easy way to put stuff in a piping bag is, so you fold the top one and then you stick it in a glass. That way it holds it together while you can put it in. Or if you're more pro, you can just hold it in your hand, put it in the piping bag. It's a good thing is to shake. And then what I do is I take a bench scrape and scrape in the sides, left to right. You're trying to take out the air bubbles, so follow this. So now I'm taking some saran wrap and I'm doing a big stretch, and I'm gonna tie it around the piping bag. Okay, so we're rolling out to 3 millimeters thickness. You can use a pasta machine. I don't have a pasta machine at my house, so I am just using a trick. I have a toonie, because Canada, woohoo, and a dime. Together they make like 2.97 millimeters. You can also use a Canadian nickel and a Canadian dime. Let's put them in boiling hot water, let them soak. I'm also going to put some palm olive, and then we're going to give them a rinse after. So that's going to be my measurements. So let's get a medium-sized pan. I'm putting in my cannoli shells just to make sure they fit. So we need them to be submerged. So lard has a smoke point of 190. We have to be cooking these at 180 Celsius. So we're gonna roll that out. I'm just rolling it out with my rolling pin. It's nice and pliable, so soft. We're gonna take 1 egg white. So you're gonna use it as our glue. I'm using a big ring. Okay. So we have to let it rest a couple times, otherwise it likes to shrink. Do you see this? It's shrinking pretty quick. So let it rest, you know, go at it again. And then let it rest before we start cutting our circles. So we all need a dance party up in here, so let's get it! If you don't have a rolling pin, use a wine bottle. It'll work, I promise. I do it at my dad's house because they don't have a rolling pin. Dad, buy a rolling pin, please. So watch this. So we're rolling it around the cannoli form and making it tight. And then at the end, we're just putting a little bit of brushed on some egg white. And then seal it closed, and when we're holding it, we're keeping it while we're doing the other cannolis. Watch this, ready? We're putting it upside down. So the seal side is going onto the table, and that's so that way it doesn't start opening up before it goes in the olive oil, into the frying oil. I'm just kind of rolling the dough back together, right? And we're gonna let it rest while we're doing these. So now that our oil is at 180 degrees Celsius, we're just plopping them in until golden. It's about 1 minute. I like to rotate them. So the 180 degrees Celsius is also 350 Fahrenheit if you only have that. I recommend grabbing a thermometer. Buy a thermometer, bro. So look at the nice bubbles on this. Oh my goodness, they're so pretty. So I'm just flipping them. So I'm just draining them as I'm pulling them out. Look how beautiful that golden color is. When they're cooled, I'm cooling them on a rack, and then we're gonna fill them with the ricotta mixture. Okay, so for the piping bag, we're just cutting it at an angle about 1 pinky size up, and we're filling it. Okay, I'm just gonna top it with some icing sugar, and there we go. So I'm just plating it, garnishing with some blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries. The money shot. It's phenomenal. Y'all try it. One bite. That's a good one. Bye guys. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell. Bye. Baking Fiat out.